3, 2, 1. And we're live. Go, Ernie. I don't know what he's barking. What are you barking at? I'm the only one here. How you doing, buddy? Oh, see, now you got Neo going. Yeah, they're barking at a virtual intruder. It's a good thing it's not a real intruder. Imagine two 100-pound ridgebacks, lion hunters, coming after you. That's right, they were lion hunters. I don't know if you knew that, but my two dogs, they are Rhodesian ridgebacks. And it's a special breed of dog. I think the breed is actually about almost 500 years old. Originated down in South Africa from the Dutch who had colonized South Africa. And bred from quite a mix of dogs. You know, they were big hunting people, and they brought with them, you know, things like the Great Dane, the Greyhound, the Bloodhound, the Mastiff. And then there was this native dog, a semi-domesticated dog that the natives had that was that they used for hunting and protection that had a ridge. And so they took what is essentially all their best hunting dogs with all their, you know, the best traits, size, speed, smell, smarts, and then bred that with this semi-domesticated dog that had that ridge to create what they felt was a super hunting dog. That's called the Rhodesian Ridgeback, and it was bred originally to hunt lion. Now, these dogs didn't actually grab a lion and bring it down. I mean, that would be ridiculous. There is no, I don't know if there's any animal that you could train to do that. But as little as 3 dogs, you could set them out in front of the hunters. They could go out as much as a day ahead of the hunters, locate a lion, and keep it at bay. Keep it right there, working as a team. Corral it, put it someplace, lock it down for 24 hours until the hunters got there and could make the kill. This required incredible intelligence, teamwork, strength, courage. Just an incredible, incredible dog. Smart, unbelievable family dog. So that's what I have. I have 2 Ridgebacks. If you ever heard the expression, keep the lions at bay, that is from the Ridgeback. That's what they did. They kept the lions at bay. Essentially, they would surround it and then nip and attack it from all different angles, essentially annoying the hell out of it until the lion just couldn't take it anymore, was tuckered out, and just couldn't fight anymore. And the Ridgebacks, they have unbelievable stamina. Their ability to survive in the harshest conditions. They can go without water for long, long periods, you know, multiple days at a time, which is unusual for a dog. Most dogs can't go without water for more than a few hours. And they can take extremes in temperature. They have a very short coat, so you can, a short oily coat, so you can see any bugs or anything like that. And they're very resistant to just about, I mean, they're like they're like a super hunting dog, a super dog. So you think you have a tough dog in your Doberman, or your Pit Bull, or your German Shepherd. Ain't got nothing on the Ridgeback. And they're very unassuming. They're so beautiful. Anyways. We've had Ridgebacks for going on 22, 23 years. And these guys, they're actually half-brothers. They're my boys. Hey, Ernie, I went on your website and didn't see your $99 per month option. What the hell are you talking about? It's right there on the front page. You can't miss it. $99 a month. So I'm perplexed how you couldn't see it. When the front page, it's like Bam! Right there. $99 a month. I don't know what website you're going to, but traderofutures.com, it's right there. Could you explain in detail what that will offer? I'll do that in a second, but before I do that, let me go to the website. Someone texting me. Someone is commenting on the title of this stream, which we will get to post-haste. Anyways, I'm going to show you the front page of the website. This is the website. You can see the AI Setups Xmas Special, Trader of Futures. Hard to miss. There it is, monthly subscription, $99 a month. I don't know. I don't know how you missed that. But then there's a quarterly subscription and a yearly subscription. Now the deal is, and this is only going to last until Christmas, you know, it's the 12 days of Christmas, is that you can get it with the training, and I'd say that 95% of the people take the training, and quite frankly, I'm not offering it without the training because I think it's important, where we give you everything that you need to know to be prepared for using these setups. It has to orientate you the right way, because what we're really teaching you is a professional way of trading, which is antithetical to the way retail traders trade. And so they have to get reprogrammed a little bit to trade like a pro. And if you do that, you receive enormous benefits, besides the fact that the AI, the neural net, the actual setups that it creates, at least over the past year, have shown to have about a 90% win rate with well over a 25% return on the capital used. That is like mind-blowing. Now, our system itself is designed to target setups that are 80% or better win rate. So what that means is that the setups, not all of them set up. Obviously, you know, if you put out 10 setups, you can't expect that all 10 of them are going to come through and get triggered, and that 80% of them or 90% of them are going to be winners. That would be like magic. What happens is it sets these scenarios up, and about 30% of them come through. And of those 30% that come through, that actually get triggered, the ones that you engage with, 80% are, well, actually the stats so far are closer to 90%, a little over 90% are winners. What do I mean by winners? I mean that they made more than zero, right? But of those winners, 70% of them reach the target or beyond. About 90% of them reach about 50% of the target. So there's very few that don't reach it all the way, but at least end up being winners anyways. So, and the setups, the way we trade, they have a 4-day time period with which they can perform and reach their target. If they don't, we say stop. There are a bunch of different little rules like that. Time stops, catastrophic stops, but no individual setup risk stops. None. That is, you know, there's a cognitive dissonance there. There's a block in the neural pathways of people when they hear that, especially retailers. Pros, they'll understand it completely. I mean, it's completely natural to trade like that. But retailers, they just don't understand. And, of course, this is one of the principal reasons why most retailers lose money, 90% of them. And anyways, so we teach you how to trade a pro system in that training. That's why it's so necessary. And, of course, we provide support through your entire existence with that subscription. And that's on our Discord server. So for the $99, there's a one-time payment of $50. Now, normally that is $225. Is it $225? Why is this? I don't know what the hell that is. It's my landline going nuts. So, Here, I'll come back on so you can see the talking head. So for $99 a month, you get the setups. We produce, on average, 2 or 3, maybe 4 setups a day, sometimes as many as 10. But every week, there's probably 5 to 8 trades that are made. Now, so far, if you had taken all these trades to their conclusion, not everybody does. Some people want to take the profits quickly. If you take all these trades to their conclusion, any one of the trades would pay for a year's worth of this subscription service. So normally the training, when I had it before, was like $225 or $250. I think it was $250 by itself, and then with the service it was $225. So you're getting $175 off on the training. Well, $200 in reality, but if you buy it with the setups, it's $175 you're getting off. Up until Christmas. We also have another deal. If you go quarterly subscription, it's a little bit less because you're paying for more up front. So it ends up being about $88 a month, and it also includes the $50 deal. If you buy a whole year of the subscription, and quite frankly, most of our subscribers are yearly subscribers. So I think 55% of our subscribers are yearly subscribers. You get the training for free, and it ends up costing you $83 a month. I don't know. I know what to say, but that is the deal. I've talked extensively about how this system works. Let's just say that it is a artificial intelligence neural net that we train. It has been trained with both a sort of philosophical bent on how that is kind of congruent or in line with how a hedge fund might create a portfolio based on the high-level view that multiple non-correlated systems is essentially the holy grail to trading. So all of the trades, and here's the real kicker. The neural net, the computed-based neural net, allows the system to see literally millions of patterns over decades of data. And so what happens is that virtually every setup that is put out there is the result of a unique strategy that has never been published before in our thing, because it's a pattern that it found by combining all of these different components that we put into it, hundreds and hundreds of components in many different ways and series and linkages and everything else, and it finds these patterns that fit our criteria of an 80% win rate with certain characteristics of the equity curve. We throw out big outlier winners and stuff like that to make sure that all the wins that add to the total profit over 20 years is real, because you could have an equity curve that kind of looks like, it goes up, right? And then all of a sudden, and it might go down a little bit, and all of a sudden there's one big winner and it comes up like this. And you look at the total equity over the course of the life of the strategy, you say, wow, that thing's awesome. But if you took out that 1 or 2 trades that are the big winners, then you look at it and you say, well, it's really not that great. So the system automatically takes care of that sort of thing. It finds only the things that meet certain criteria that we have. So anyways, the multiple non-correlated strategies, the idea there is that sometimes some strategies, they just, stop working or don't work, or that particular instance they don't work and they may draw down. Well, if you are combining that with other trades, simultaneously have more than one trade on at a time, which we almost constantly do, then the other ones are because they're uncorrelated, the chances of them also going through a drawdown are very small. So they will diminish those trades that maybe go out of whack by either, not having any profit or having some profit, or having an exceedingly great profit, thereby, eliminating those drawdowns. And that result, that having multiple non-correlated strategies together, creates a much less volatile equity curve, one that essentially is more smooth and goes up on a regular clip. So that's the idea, and it's essentially how a hedge fund or an investment bank or professional traders, that's how they trade. It skews towards longer-term trades, trends, and other things. We're not. Occasionally, there might be a trade that happens in a day. Most of them happen within a few days. So it's more like a swing trader. The calls, the setups themselves, are put out the night before the trading session, and so you can actually set everything up the night before, and then when the trading session comes through, or even overnight, it may trigger without you having to really do anything. So it's good for people who are both active traders and passive traders. So, anyways, that is the, and I'll put the thing up there again. That is this. There it is. There's a close-up view of it. That's the deal. All right. That's enough of that. Must have been a bad link. Oh, okay. Michael Jones, what are the life expectancies in dog years? Ernie, just curious. In dog years? Well, in human years, because I can't relate to the dog years. In human years, oh, I understand. How about in just years? Ridgebacks live to, I would say on average, 12 to 14 years. Our the one that survived the longest for us lived to be 12 and a half. We had one that was 5 years old. Unfortunately, he was hit by a truck. These guys here are 3.5 and 2.5. So we got a long time with them. We hope we have a long time. The younger one actually has lymphoma, a very aggressive form of lymphoma, which is really scary because earlier in the year, in the summertime, we were about to go on vacation, and he started to, 5 weeks before, started to have this bout of diarrhea and was losing weight, lost like 25 pounds. I mean, that's a lot of weight for a dog that size. And he was emaciated, and we brought him to the doctor, and they did an ultrasound and did a biopsy and confirmed that he has a very aggressive form of large cell lymphoma, which is not uncommon in dogs. They don't know why it happens. It's kind of a random thing. But anyways, we were going on vacation. We were wondering what we're going to do. And, they suggested that we put him on chemo and prednisone. And they said to us that, even with chemo, he'll maintain, but they don't expect him to live past 5 or 6 months. So before we actually went to the doctor, we didn't know exactly what was going on. So we started to give him a steady dose of Rick Simpson oil, which is a cannabis oil, and it's an extract that we create. And I'm sure a lot of you know that I cultivate marijuana, and we create our own Rick Simpson oil and combine it with pure CBD, and then put it in veg caps and give it to him as a suppository. And we started doing that a couple days before we went to the doctor, just in case. And then they confirmed that he did have cancer. We were going on vacation. He was so bad that we didn't think that he would last through our 2-week vacation, because we always bring our dogs on our vacation. And he had diarrhea and just losing all kinds of weight. And after 2 days on the vacation, he had his first regular solid poop in a long, long time. And he started to get better. And and this is without chemo, just the prednisone. Although the prednisone, I'm sure, was a big help. It helps with inflammation and stuff like that. It's not a cure, but it helps inflammation. We kept on giving him the RSO oil 3 times a day. We've been doing that ever since. Which this is not a cheap endeavor, by the way. It costs a lot of money to give a dog almost a gram of cannabis extract every day. So every day, getting that 3 times a day, and he gained back all his weight, solid, regular poops for a long, long time, for 5 months, easily going by that. We brought him back to the vet. They were amazed. They said, "You haven't had him on chemo?" I said, "No, just the RSO oil." And they said, "Just keep on." And plus, we put him on a keto diet and really changed that up. And I mean, we make all their own food now. And it has, I mean, just an incredible turnaround. Now, in the last few weeks, he reverted and started getting the diarrhea again. And we're wondering what's going on, and we thought maybe he ate something or whatever. So we started giving him some other medicine that helps control the diarrhea, including Imodium AD. And then today, this morning, had his first solid poop again, and he seems a lot better. So we're hoping, that. And we brought him back for another visit on a couple of weeks ago to before he had this new bout of diarrhea, and to have another ultrasound just to confirm. And they were amazed. They said, "Yeah, he still has the tumors, but they're a lot smaller, and some of them are gone." So that we attribute to the RSO and the other types of distillates that we've created and given him. And it's really been, I don't know how long we'll have him. Maybe he'll be like this for another several years. I hope. Maybe he'll have a full life. Maybe over time the RSO will do its job and just get rid of the cancer. Maybe it just takes a while. I really don't know. But we're doing everything that we can to keep our dog alive and happy. What is the cancellation policy? Well, it's month by month, so you can cancel. You buy a quarterly, then it's quarter by quarter. That's the cancellation policy. You can cancel anytime you want. So the additional $50 is for the consultation, plus $99. Well, I wouldn't call it a consultation. It's actually a training class that I do on Saturdays for new members. And then on top of that, you get a free support room that is Discord based, where my partner is in there 24 hours a day. Well, nobody can be in there 24 hours a day, but we monitor it 24 hours a day. I look at it all the time too, and we provide very high level, I should say low level, actually hands-on support with all our members. The Bitcoin Santa Claus rally is amazing. Huh. I was looking at it. It's only at 4,000 now. So it's pulled back some. My partner had called the bottom within like $75, and he's been long and rode it all the way up. And so he did pretty good. I have a short at 3,500, and I'll add to it if it gets up to 4,500 or maybe 5,500. Casio 1987. Hey Ernie, long time no see. Back in town, shorting this Ponzi in the dirt. Well, like I said, I'm already short. I'll add to that short. Look, if this is the one case where Bitcoin turns around, then I'll get out of the trade and I'll start going long. But I just don't see that happening, and I still hold on to my long-term projection of it staying somewhere between 1,000 and 4,000 approximately for the next year or two. And you look good. No gay. Okay. Thank you. Andrew Watt. How you doing? I'm doing good. How you doing? Is Alternative Harvest the best MJ ETF in town? It's one of the biggest and most established and has the highest liquidity. So from that perspective, I would say, yeah, I guess it's the best. Where is MJ now? Last I checked, it was down, and I've been calling it to go down. What was the price that I said? I said at least 24, maybe lower. I also called it on the day that I thought that it would start dropping on October 17th. Did you take that trade? Did you? We're talking about the ETF called Alternative Harvest ETF, which is basically a pot stock ETF. And primarily it is Canadian-based companies. And, you know, it went through its own little bubble. I did that analysis, did some fundamental analysis on that, and I told everybody here that on October 17th that would be the top and that you should short it. And then people told me, well, okay, you were right, but it will never go below 30. I said, yeah, it'll go below 30. It went below 30. And now they're saying, oh, but it will never go below 25 ever. I said, yeah, it'll go below 25. And that's because the companies in there are grossly overvalued. Even though I do think in the long run that cannabis stocks, hemp stocks, are going to blow away crypto in a way that is just unimaginable, as if crypto is a speck. Nothing. There is going to be absolutely no comparison. I think that cannabis stocks as a group, both industrial and medicinal and recreational, that's, well, all three of those, is going to be one of the biggest booms or sectors ever in market history. Particularly the industrial sector. A lot of people don't really or realize just how useful this plant is and how useful it has been. Well, I mean, most people understand the recreational, and a lot of people are now starting to become aware of the medicinal. But a lot of people don't realize that hemp itself, which is sort of the low-grade version of marijuana, is probably the most effective plant, industrial plant, for a textile plant on the planet. It creates the densest per acre useful material. It can be used for just a huge variety, from textile materials to resins for plastics, biodegradable plastics, very high quality plastics of every type, cloth, paper, even creating building materials, food, energy from the oils of the seeds. I mean, did you know that the U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence are both written on hemp paper? That I mean, it's just the original Levi jeans were hemp. Virtually before the early 1900s. All boats, their sails and their rope was all hemp-based. So anyways, yeah, I think that the potential of marijuana, hemp, cannabis, in all three of those different varied sectors, recreational use, and there's many varieties of it, consumable food use in both recreational and actual protein base, energy, renewable energy. Seriously. You know, you think that ethanol from corn is good. Hemp is better. Medicinal use is just unbelievable. The story that I gave you on my dog, that it's been found that cannabis oil actually reduces the size of cancer cells, inhibits their growth, and in many cases actually destroys them, causes the cells themselves to go on a suicide mission. And many other neurological and other disorders, and as a painkiller, as a replacement for opioids. I mean, it is just unbelievable, the potential that this plant has, and the fact that it has been denied us all these years through what can be nothing more than a criminal act by both politicians and industry titans for their own personal gain is just unconscionable. So I still haven't gotten to the title of this, you know, where I said that Fibonacci is bullshit. Absolute, unadulterated bullshit. I'm saying in terms of trading. Fibonacci ratios, Elliott wave, which is essentially a numerology project by some accountant from the 1930s, Ralph Nelson Elliott, who was a real piece of work, by the way. It's all bullshit. The Elliott wave methodology is nothing more than an elaborate curve-fitting methodology. Curve fitting is what you do when you want to make something look like it has your precognition and it confirms all of your biases. So essentially, you can take Elliott wave and you could apply it to any chart and say that, oh, look, it follows the Elliott wave. It doesn't matter what the chart is. It doesn't matter if you drew it by hand. You could still use Elliott wave to show that, see, Elliott wave is predicting your hand drawing. No, what it is a curve fitter. And if you're familiar with old-time architecture or architectural drawings or other ways that they could use tools to literally fit natural curves, like when they were creating the hulls of boats or plane wings or whatever, they didn't have the complex mathematical formula. They literally would create patterns and then use tools that would lay out the line and the pattern with curve-fitting tools. That is exactly what Elliott wave is in Fibonacci. It is a curve-fitting tool to fit the curves on the market, on the chart. There is no statistical significance in its predictive power. None. Some people say, well, the Fibonacci sequence, it's found in nature everywhere, which is not true. There are a few isolated incidences like the layout of certain seed patterns and flowers or petals, like that. But virtually all the other stuff that you've probably seen in documentaries has been roundly debunked. It does not exist. The proportions of our face or our body or our hands or our elbows or anything like that is, again, a hoax. Well, hoax is a strong word. That's implying that somebody created it in order to fool people to make money. Well, I guess, yeah, it is a hoax. Fibonacci was the numerology bullshit dream of Ralph Nelson Elliott, who was an accountant who fancied himself as a sociologist, thinking that he could predict human behavior through numerology. Seriously, that's what it was. No different than predicting human behavior through astrology. Yeah. Now, you know, there's some people say, well, then how come it comes down and it hits the 618 and blah, blah, blah? I would pose that just using the general 2/3 principle, that you'll find that 2/3 is actually a better number than 618. 667 is very close to 62, right? But 2/3 is also closer to 1 standard deviation. Now, if you start backing that up into statistics, that starts to make sense. Because it's close to some statistical measures, they think that there is some validity to it, but there isn't. There's also that cognitive bias that, you know, what is done in practice actually ends up manifesting itself in reality, you know, because so many people are trading this with this idea in mind that they are actually influencing the market. I suppose that could be true to some extent, but that doesn't make the Fibonacci sequence relevant. Just means that we're human and we're idiots and think that we can make things happen. And they don't happen on a statistically significant level. And I can say that for virtually every technical indicator as well. All the oscillators, if you put statistical rigor and put them through strategies that people purport are, hey, this is how you use the RSI. You buy when it goes below 30 and you sell when it goes above 70 because it's overbought and oversold. If you actually put that to a back test and tested that theory on virtually any asset, any time frame, any look back, and you will find that there is no significance to it at all. None. And it's the same deal with every indicator. Every indicator. That is the truth. That's what I'm sure the people that are the talking heads on TV and, same thing with moving averages, crossovers, the death cross, the golden cross. Go look at those from a statistical point of view. How many of them have actually been predictive of markets? You'll find that both of those only have a predictive power under 50%. How is that good? Is that how you like to go in life, saying, yes, I choose that a 30% winning of the time is a winner? Of course, some of you will go back and say, well, a good baseball player hits over 300, and they're considered, we're not playing baseball. All right. I need my glasses. Krypton Mining is saying, so to everyone that doesn't know, this morning I woke up and I was feeling great, so I decided to get up and run outside naked screaming, Bitcoin, baby, Bitcoin. Whatever. Hey, Seed, how you doing? What happened to my phone? It didn't react to Hayseed? Ernie, do you know where? I'm sure you meant to spell no, not N-O, but K-N-O-W. Know where all the grown-ups are in this market? I'd just like to find any grown-ups anywhere in any market, quite frankly. Casio 1987. Me too, mate. I'm adding more and more. All right. So the Bitcoin bucko-runos, buccarinis, buccos are coming out of the woodwork. So that means that we will have to ramp up the Bitcoin bashing. And I'll be a Bitcoin basher until it no longer is worth being a Bitcoin basher. In other words, if I feel like it has now turned the corner. But there is no evidence that it's turned the corner. I wouldn't. This hasn't even risen yet to the to the level of a dead cat bounce. That's how bad this move up is. Imagine buying a GoPro G Pro at $70. Wow, GPO got wrecked. All right, let's see. Am I missing something here? That was Jacob said that. Was there another comment that you made earlier that I missed? Because that was kind of a random thing. No. Time to go long at Jacob. Long Jacob Wall. Time to go long. Wow. Okay, so I'm still trying to get... I'm not involved in all your conversations, so I'm just reading. Bitcoin is already the biggest, but Ernie bought in 2017, so I understand his... No. You don't know what I did. And I didn't do anything like what you're saying or suggesting. I started buying it in 2012, so this is the second bear market for me. So, then you are a seasoned loser. Satoshi Nakamoto. Oh my God, what happened with Bitcoin? Oh my God! All right. I guess we must go to Bitcoin and see what the hell's happening and put it all into perspective. So the first thing that we'll do is that we'll look at this. All right, yeah, we'll go through the daily, the 4 hour, and then the 1 hour. And we'll take the talking head. Talking head! Be gone! Oop. There we are. There it is. There is the bubble. There is the shape of it. We climbed the mountain, and then we fell down the mountain. Dead cat bounce followed by diminishing bounces until we couldn't take it anymore, and it fell off the cliff. All right? Now, I want you to take a look at that. all right, after all of that downplay, and you look at the tiny, tiny, tiny little blip up, and notice that it is still well within or near the channel that my long-term channel that I'm predicting. The long term. Now, it's very possible we might come up as high as 5,500. And why do I say 5,500? Because if I take in more data, you will see at 5,500 is the edge of this massive volume well here, right here. And I think that that is the major area of resistance. So it's very possible we could come up here and then continue down. I don't know how possible. I don't know how likely. I don't know what the odds are. Some people are saying it's 95%. I give it more like 30%. That's my idea. It's also possible that we come up to, say, 4,300 or so and stop there. But if we get into here, get into this big volume well, anything can happen. We can move very quickly. Hard to imagine getting all the way up here in the 6,000 range. Only because a lot of miners are offline now. A lot of people are just gone. Most people are disillusioned with all of this. And plus, we still have all the fraud in the industry that needs to be wiped out. That problem has not gone away yet. So the fundamental problem is that Bitcoin is in deep doo-doo. I don't care what your technicals say. I don't care what kind of hype or hopium that you're practicing or taking. It's not going to push it up, or the chances of it going up are very small. Chances are that it's going to continue down and then stay within this range that you see here, this big gray area, in my opinion, for a long time. Until all the crap is purged. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit more into that little fish hook. We'll go down to 4 hours. All right, so there it is right there. There's the little fish hook. There are the two bear flags that I drew. Both of them bore out almost to the, to the dollar of what I was predicting. And now we're taking a little bit of a bounce, coming up to the top end of this channel. When I look at the edges of a channel, they're kind of fuzzy things. They're not hard lines, but when you draw it, that's what you have. You have the hard lines that you draw. All right, so there's the resistance. And we'll see what happens. If it breaks out of there, I may get out of my my short and look for a short a little further up and add it there. All right, let's go down one more to the hourly time chart. Now this looks much more impressive when you look at it from the hourly. You're looking at this and you're saying, oh my fucking Christ, God Almighty! Oh shit, I'm taking the Lord name in vain again. Damn. There was someone that told me not to do that. Really sorry. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. Can't help it. That's, me growing up in the Boston area. That's how we all talked. Usually it followed something like, Mary, Mother of God! Although I didn't do that because I wasn't Catholic, although 95% of the people in my town were Irish Catholic. And you wouldn't believe some of the other shit that came out of their mouth. All right. So we look at that hourly chart and we say, oh my God, it's going to the moon! That's the hopium talking. Nick Woodman is worth $1.1 billion in 2012, $8 billion in 2014, now only $250 million. Yeah, sorry, Nick. apparently one of the Bitcoin billion millionaires. Scott I, there has to be a lot of crap CBD oil out there. How do you weed out the flakes? Well, first of all, I don't buy CBD oil. I make my own CBD oil from pure CBD crystals. Let's see, do I have... I've shown this before. I don't have a container here showing some of the stuff that I've bought. But I only buy, pure CBD crystals and then make my own Lixivant with it. And then combine it with a rosin that I press myself from my own flower. So everything I know is going into there is absolutely natural and organic. So yeah, there's no crap on this side. We also make our own tincture. I've got my own tincture here. See, tincture. Which is a mix of the CBD and THC and propylene glycol mixture. Put it under the tongue. I want to shave and brush my teeth with hemp. Okay. I want quality shaving blade system with ancient hemp oil products. You can get hemp oil products these days. RHB 3000 or 30,001. Elliott wave? Fake? I don't believe it. Wow. So I don't know if that's sarcastic or not, or if he's just, in denial. But yeah, it's a fake. It's an elaborate ruse, an elaborate methodology that most people have convinced themselves work because it is the ultimate in curve-fitting methodologies. They can make it fit anything under any condition. But it does not give it predictive power. They can only fit it to what happened in the past. They cannot predict what happens in the future. What's the difference between SP and ES futures? Okay. The difference is that one is the full-size contract and one is the mini contract. So just a difference in the cost of the contract and the tick value. Hayseed says, momentum, not price. Secular versus structural flows. What's Ernie care to eliminate? Momentum flows, not price. Secular versus structural flows. Well, what you're doing is you're making my point. That when you're trading, it's much better that you first develop a bias that's based on your hypothesis of the market. That being your secular view of the market and whether it is bullish or bearish or inconclusive or whatever. High volatility, low volatility, time-based. Which, by the way, are all the elements that actually go into an options contract. Time, volatility, and directional bias. So, so you form all of that. And then you can use the technicals as kind of a modeling agent, modeling tool, to model your hypothesis. And your hypothesis should be multi-pronged. You shouldn't say, well, it's going to go down this and that's the only possibility. No. You say, well, I think it has about a 50% chance of doing this, a 25% chance of doing this, and another 25% of doing that. I lay those odds based on my analysis. I model it out using my technicals to show, where might be the appropriate levels of support, resistance, etc. And then we go there. That is a sensible, systematic way of trading. I think it's largely ineffective, but it is sensible. And some people, combined with their overall knowledge of the markets and their innate intuition, which is actually 80% of their trading, or 90%, can use those technicals, have all this other stuff being sort of tacit to them, but not tacit to anybody else. They couldn't take that and turn it into a prescriptive method and write it down because it's up here. It's part of their experience, and some of those people actually do well, but they are a very small subsegment of the trading population. Very small. Casper saying, laughing out loud, Ernie, you're wishing you took my advice now and bought it 3,200. No, I'm not, because I don't care. I'd rather trade other shit. Sorry. I truly don't care. I don't know what people don't understand about this. I don't fucking care about Bitcoin. I don't. I see it as a non-issue. It's an interesting artifact. Interesting technology. Clown-like network of people. Cultish. That's what I get. I mean, it's entertaining to me rather than just caring. I guess I care about the entertainment value. That's what I care about. Can you get that through your thick Casper skull? Oh, I forgot, you're a ghost and you're ethereal and you have no substance. Jacob says, cracks in the system. Report, Navy Federal Credit Union is having problems with deposits. And the phones are down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the hell's going on? Yeah, that's not good. Way down today. Let's look at that. Although, it looks like we're doing a little bit of a recovery here. See, I get on the show, take my eye off the ball. And all hell breaks out. All right, where was I? Rod Rosenstein charges Chinese hackers. Deep state trying to ruin China negotiations. That's interesting. Yeah, they're doing everything that they possibly can to try to derail this economy. I mean, that's becoming quite obvious now. Rod Rosenstein and Chris Wray attempting to kill this market. Yeah, I just don't understand it. We are going to 8K, then we're going to dump to all-time low facts. That's a fax? That's a fact? That's a fact, Jack! Says display Z. Casio says excellent views. Thanks, Ernie. Nick Woodman is the... Okay, let's see. I think we went through that stuff. I'm going to see if I can catch up with these comments, okay? All right, there we go. Now I'm back on... Oh, fuck! Casper is going back to Bitcoin and XRP. They're going to hit their all-time highs in 6 to 12 months. Please! Oh. If you're right, I'll give you kudos, all right? But right now, you're barking up the wrong tree. Frank Run. Are you in denial in Bitcoin? Hope it will go back to you may change. So I don't know if Frank is addressing me or not. Eargeed. A ghost having no substance? Come on, Ernie. Frank Run. Okay, I'm with you. It'll go below 3K. Do your own research, Frank. I can only enlighten you to my viewpoint, and just in the same way that I listen to other people's viewpoints, but ultimately I make my own decisions. So prove it to yourself. If I can prove it to you and you can adopt that, that's okay too. I can adopt other people's positions as well. Bitcoin needs to hit 1,600 by March for a bottom. If not, we're going to have an extended bear market. I'm not sure how you get to that analysis, or why 1,600 is and March time frame are important, but okay. And then Dan Rom, 100K. Casper's got the good BitConnect weed. Good stuff. Where's my vape? My vape pen. Where is it? Where the fuck's my vape pen? Ah! I don't see my vape pen anywhere. Did it drop in here? No, it's not in there. Shit. What am I going to do? I was inspired. I really wanted to take a hit. Now I can't. Oh, there it is. The vape pen. Is now on. Pure, high-quality rosin that I heat pressed myself. I extracted it without any chemicals, directly from plants that I grew. Check out Crown's Crypto Cave. He's an interesting guy. I think you guys have similar views. Okay, I will check out that. Kalholi. Aaron Selleck, how you doing? Thanks, Ernie, for all the wisdom. Lost track of you. And that did not go well. Thanks for keeping our feet solidly on the ground. You're welcome. I really enjoy doing this, by the way, Aaron. And especially... Oh, Bitcoin is moving up again. Now at 41.72 on the Gemini exchange. Let's see. Getting pumped. Defied justice, all-time highs. I mean, that's just like a comment out there in the wilderness. It doesn't do anything, you know? Does a bear shit in the woods? What a joke. Deleting comments. What are you talking about? Deleting comments. Who's deleting comments? I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Defied justice. Deleting comments. Really don't know what you're talking about. What comments have I deleted? No, you don't let me post my comments. But you're posting comments right now, so what the fuck are you fucking talking about, Defied Justice? Fucking tell me! Tell me now! You're starting to piss me off. Tell me what the fuck you're talking about, and then I'll address it. And if we expose you as being a fucking dickwad, then we'll all know why I deleted your comments. But I hardly ever delete comments or ban people. I did have to delete and ban a couple of people yesterday in my Discord group, in a private Discord group, because they violated the rules. The rules are there for a purpose. The rules are there for a purpose. You violate the rules, your ass is grass, and I'm the lawnmower. I know I've used that before. I got to come up with another better saying. But it's funny as hell. Ignore the trolls. Excuse me 1 second. In yelling like that, I think I dislodged something. Why won't my paragraph show about me exposing your views on Bitcoin? I keep playing it and it only shows for me. I have no idea. I have no idea who you are, and quite frankly, I don't give a shit. So I have no idea. It says I can go to your channel. It doesn't say you're hidden. You're not in a timeout. I'm going to go to your channel. You're obviously, you know, a troll because you have 0 content, 0 subscriptions, or nothing. So, you know what, Defy Justice? Fuck you. Go tape a flying leap. I could give a shit about you. You're a fucking dweeb. You're nothing. Dillweed. I like that name, Dillweed. Although dill, I think it gives dill a bad rap, because dill overall is a pretty good spice. Yeah, I know. I know he's a troll. I know he's a troll. I just like having fun. Tyler Cobb. Oh, please, somebody make Uncle Ernie meme. Make an Uncle Ernie meme. It's funny, though. You know, some people think that, you know, when I yell that I actually am losing it. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm just making excuses. Saying, oh, yeah. I'll just make an excuse and make people think that I am actually saying that this is all under control. Sorry, Diego. But Adam says, same thing happened with my comment. I think it's YouTube. YouTube, yeah. I mean, you know. I will get owned. Sorry, buddy, but nobody can own me. Even if you put me under lock and key, you still couldn't own my mind. It's because it's my mind. It does what I want it to do. Oh, it's because he's trying to put like an essay on there, and when he gets beyond 200 characters, yeah, of course. So it doesn't matter, you know. You put that long thing on there and multiple lines, they'll also delete it if you do too many posts in a row. So you're fucked either way. You don't know what the fuck you're doing or talking about. And so now I am of the mind of actually deleting all your comments just to fuck with you. That's exactly why I would do it. Just to fuck with you. I didn't sell at 18K like you said to. This time, when it's at 60K and you say sell, I'm out. Yeah, I told so many people to sell up there. I had one client that had made $20 million. Actually, no, more than that. He made $30 million. $30 million profit. Came to me and said, what should I do? You should sell. He says, no, really, what should I do? I said, well, you should at least try to sell and see if you can sell, first of all. And so he went and tried that. He says, I can't sell. Nobody will take my order. I said, that's because you're going to the wrong place. You're talking to the wrong people. So I showed him how to sell $1 million worth of Bitcoin. So he went and did that, and he said, okay, I did that. Now what do I do? I said, well, the next thing you should do is sell the rest. He goes, no, I can't do that. Really, seriously, tell me what to do. I said, okay. Sell another 5 million, so that now you have at least recouped your original investment. And now you've got 30 million to play with. He says, okay, good idea. So he went and did that. He goes, now what do I do? I said, sell the rest. He paid me a shitload of money to, he thought he was going to learn how to trade Bitcoin futures and then speculate and just kill the market. And our agreement up front was that I was going to get 10% of anything that I made for him. I guess I could have extended that to save it. So like if he had sold, I would have made commission on that trade. But he didn't. After about paid me I don't know, like $8,000 to do a little training, and then after a few weeks he stopped calling me, and they didn't schedule any more meetings. That their $30 million had shrunk down to practically nothing. Or is your ego too big to accept the fact that you're missing the boat when it hits? No. Can't miss something I'm not doing or care about. Yeah, there's something I haven't heard before. Ernie is an egomaniac, and my views are flawed. There's no doubt I have flawed views. Absolutely no doubt. As a matter of fact, I have lots of flaws, which I am willing to talk about. No, I'm not really willing to talk about. They're not flaws. They're features. Features of my personality. This market is really not having a good day. And oil is down again, down more. Oil is down. So what did the EAI report say yesterday? That might tell us something about oil. Let's take a look at that. So we have to look at the economic calendar. We need to bring that over into this area. Let's spread that out a little bit. Let's go on and take the talking head off. And let's go to this page and we'll make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. EAI report. EIA report was on Wednesday. Every Wednesday if there's no holiday that week. And according to this, crude oil inventories were down 500,000 barrels. Last week they were down 1.2 million barrels in the strategic reserves. Gasoline last week had an additional 2.1 million barrels added to it. That means that if there are more than the strategic reserves, if they've added more, that's indicating that some wasn't used, indicating maybe a slowdown in the economy. Crude oil inventories, there weren't that many used. I think they were expecting a much bigger reduction. Same thing with distillates, which includes things like diesel and kerosene and jet fuel. That was down a little bit, so maybe the price of gasoline and other things might have gone up a little bit. But overall, it looks like a fairly weak report with regards to oil and the energy sector. And so that's probably why oil continues down and is down pretty good today. Although it's come off the bottom. right. Let's see. Now I got to get back to... True Grit. Big meeting with at White House. Trump is about to get his way. The deep state can't compete. Stay tough. All right, so Defied Justice wants to continue with his trolling, and I'll give him his day, because we do highlight trolls here every once in a while. They usually end up going, "You contradict your views completely." I contradict myself. Okay, that's a known. You don't care about Bitcoin. Again, a known. You live and breathe Bitcoin. No, I admonish. I don't live and breathe Bitcoin at all. For your entertainment, I help you get out of Bitcoin or realize the truth, and then help people save their asses. Other than that, I don't really care about it. I don't live and breathe it. I very rarely... I mean, this is really, seriously, like, maybe other than 5 minutes a day, tops. This is what the most I ever talk about it. And even here, I try to avoid it and talk about other things. So I don't live and breathe Bitcoin. You go to sleep thinking about Bitcoin and wake up looking at the charts. No. Oh, that couldn't be further from the truth. Oh, my God. See, now it's Defied Justice now, obviously, that is starting to come to light, that has the Bitcoin fixation. I feel bad for you. Surfing Goat. Ernie, the clean shave look scared me. Really? This scares you, huh? Well, you'll see plenty of instances where I have some significant stubble. But I think I'm going to keep the beard off for now. I have to send in another order to Harry's. Harry's Blades, whatever it is. They have good deals. I need more blades. Wow, anytime I trash crypto, it censors my comment. Really? Shut down fears of the government. Why is that a fear? Seriously, why is that a fear? I want the government to shut down. They won't be spending money. The last thing the stock market needs right now is a bid-up dollar. I agree with that, Jacob. Dominic says, 100% gain missed in Bitcoin Cash. Damn it. Now, don't get that old FOMO fear, problem again, or now, and then go blow some money. Universal Sheep. That's a great name. Bitcoin sucks. Next line, just testing. Asdirt says, I agree Ernie has a big ego similar to Tone Vase, a bit full of himself, but Ernie is a lot funnier. That's good, I'm glad. Do you see Tone Vase? I mean, talking about vanity or being vain, a narcissist. He actually broadcast a show from his not his dentist, from his barber. I mean, come on. And then asking people what kind of haircut he should get. Should he shave it all off, get a mohawk, blah, blah, blah. It's just... My God. Why so many interest rate hikes this year? I think it will continue in 2019. Yeah, I think that's politically motivated, Surfer and Goat. All part of that sort of deep state plan that I think Jacob was talking about earlier. And, yeah, that's what I think it is. So, anyways, now we are getting near the end. Well, we're over. We're over! Over an hour. Man, I try to keep it under an hour. What I'd like all of you to do, my partner in the AI setups. How you doing, man? I am just finishing up. As a matter of fact, stay with me while I close up, all right? Everybody, this is my partner in the AI setups. What I talked about earlier today, go there, check it out. You won't be sorry. I guarantee that. And we'll see you. Let's see. Now I have to sign out. I'm always struggling when I sign out because I have to look at the page that contains the feed and everything. And click the stop streaming button. I'm going to click it and say goodbye.